Hello everyone, my name is Magnolia and today we are going to build an azalea tree. Now if you've been here before, you know how we do this. We put a little graph on the top left of the screen right here and we build from the bottom up, bird's eye view, etc. You'll get the gist as we do this. First, let me talk a little bit about this azalea tree. So this was actually requested by a follower to do an azalea tree, and I'd actually forgotten there were like actual azalea trees in the game. But this is what they look like. This is actually kind of an interesting one. But they're just this super flat, super blocky looking thing. I mean, again, if you've been here before, you've heard me say the spiel 100 times. But this tree that we are building today is a little bit different because if we go over here to my testing area, we can see my first attempt at rebuilding this azalea tree. It's, well, I would use the word uninspired, I think. It doesn't really solve the problem of it being really blocky, because this does have some interesting shape, but again, just really blocky. Anyway, I did this very sad looking rebuild of it, but then as I was looking at this and going, no, I gotta redo it, I looked over here and I saw that the dirt that you grow an azalea tree on turns into rooted dirt, and I was like, I can do something with that. So I started building and I kind of let go of this preconceived notion of what this azalea tree needed to look like. I think I may have used some reference pictures of like real life azalea trees, but really I was just kind of going on vibes and what I wanted to do. So in Minecraft, this tree kind of feels like a magical tree to me because, I mean, this block is so unique, and you find it in those lush caves, which are so pretty. I love them, but I was kind of going off of that magical feeling, and lo and behold, we got this. Ignore the little pillars that's stacked on. This is my testing area. Actually, let's go over here to where we can actually see it. I mean, this is my layer by layer section of the world over here, but this is what we came up with. Now this, I really worked to make this pretty and light and magical from every angle, and for the first time ever, I incorporated some like non-traditional tree blocks in here. With other trees I've used, obviously, this is not a good example, that's a Christmas tree. But even with this little orange tree, I've used some non-wooden slabs, like these tough walls and diorite walls and resin and whatnot. But with this one, I really stepped outside the box for my own personal comfort zone. And I used mossy cobblestone walls and the waxed, weathered copper blah 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 blah, blah as like leaf hangings, which anyway, I really like this tree. This might actually be my favorite tree that I've made, except the orange tree, because the orange tree is freaking adorable. But this I really like. Let's get back over to our actual building area. Okay, we're back to this super blocky, really just weird looking azalea tree, and now we are going to build out that azalea tree that I just showed you. Obviously, that's why we're here in this video. So, I think I did this with my, one of my trees. I think maybe the big pale oak? I don't know, it's been too long. But we actually have a layer 0 on this, meaning that we are modifying the ground itself, okay? So if you don't really care about how the ground looks around this tree, go ahead and skip to layer like 1 or even 2, to be honest. That's really where the trunk of it starts. But I like creating a little ambiance. I don't know if that's the word, but you know what I mean. I like creating a little landscape, there we go, that's the word, around my trees. So, starting with layer 1, and I'm going to be facing this way. If you're not familiar with how this works, this pillar here is our center dot on that graph in the corner. I'm circling it right now. It's that little pink dot in the center. Now, these graphs are available for download over on my Patreon, but as you can see, I'm just putting them on the screen here. So really the main benefit of the Patreon is you get to download the graphs and like have them in whatever size you want. But then also I put the Litematica schematics for all of my trees on there and you get early access, whatever. Go check out the Patreon. It's great. Anyway, this is our central pillar. This is where we build around from that pink dot. It just gives us a nice reference point. Now let's start on layer 0. Remember, this is the ground. So this layer only has rooted dirt, so we're just going to place the 15 of those starting here, I guess. And 1, 2, 3 over. And these are pretty subjective. I placed them here in the graph because I liked how they looked here, obviously. But like I say in all my videos, this is your tree, do whatever you want with it. I'm not gonna, like, come into your Minecraft house and kill you if you build the tree. It's your tree, it's your world, build it how you want. Okay, moving on to layer 1, which is the first above ground layer. This central column here has a rooted dirt with 4 around it. And then don't worry about those little lines for the buttons, we will get to it in a moment. I'm gonna place my 4 dead fire coral just to get it out of the way. 2, 3, and 4. And these, if this is hard to get in like a survival world, you can replace it with, I think there are, I mean, you could do firefly bushes, I think that'd be pretty. I think there are, let me see, you could do firefly bushes, that would be really pretty, or you could also do, like the dead bushes. Does that make sense? What are they called? Hang on. Yeah, dead bush or dry grass. Dry grass would look nice. Anyway, I used dead fire coral because I liked the shape and color. Okay, now we're going to do the jungle slabs. These are all on the bottom half of the block. Pretty easy, especially compared to some of the other trees we've done on this channel. I think that's 10. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great! Alright, now to the buttons. So, as you can see with buttons, they can go one of 2 ways. Long ways or tall ways. So those, like, lines on the graph here just indicates which way they should be facing. So if we start here with this one, have it be facing long ways, long ways, long ways, tall ways, and then come over here. That's not right, sorry. Long ways there. And then back over here. And up. To the side. Over here. And there. And there. I think that's all of them. Yeah, very nice. I have a question for you guys as viewers before we keep going. Do you guys like it when there's music in these videos? I think I tend towards not putting music in the videos so you can have your own going in the background. But if you guys would prefer music, please let me know in the comments because I can very much add music to these. Alright, back to the tree. That is layer 1 complete, and on to layer 2, which is significantly easier. Just 2 buttons, a mud brick wall, and our very first waxed, weathered copper chain. Whoever named that, are you okay? Do you need a raise or a vacation? Or, I mean, it makes sense logically, but it's a mouthful, dude. All right, now this red wall in my hand, I'm using as like kind of a place holder. I don't know if that makes any sense, but look, I'm just using it in these spots here to be able to place chains. Because we don't use red wool anywhere in this build, it makes it really easy to not accidentally leave it there. Because there have been times where I've used leaves and left them in the wrong spot, and I'm like, why is there a leaf there? Okie doke, that's layer 2, pretty easy. Now moving on to layer 3. We're going to start with our mud brick wall in the middle here. And I'm going to do the mossy cobblestone wall first because that makes sense in my brain. There. And then for all of our waxed, weathered lightning rods, they will be facing like this with the bulb thing at the top, not like this with the bulb facing down. So that's actually pretty easy because you just have to place it like that. So if we come over here, place our first waxed, weathered lightning rod. I'm just going to call them the lightning rods from now on. I'm not saying waxed, weathered lightning rod, waxed, weathered copper chain, no. Lightning rod, chain. Easy. All right, our first lightning rod here, and then here. That's not right. Hold on. Here. And here. And this is our copper chain here. And here. And then we come up here, and is that right? Here, I think. Also, I have my Lightmatica schematic placed right here so I can pull it up like this, and and those chains are wrong. Cool. Let's try this again. Hold on. So, if we come out from here, 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. Perfect. And one more out here. 1, 2. That's not right. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lightning rod. Okay. That is layer 3 done. All right, and on to layer 4. We're going to start in the middle with our mud brick wall, and here's where we get our first branches. We're going to have our jungle fence gates first, because those actually connect with the mud brick walls instead of just hovering awkwardly. And then we have our actual fences here. And then we can move on to our, let's do our mossy cobblestone walls first. Now we'll come up here. Top of there. This one can go over and place it on top of that lightning rod, chain, and over here on this lightning rod as well. Let's just put our one little leaf down. Yay, first leaf. And then, perfect. And I do believe that goes right there. The mossy cobblestone walls on this level were pretty easy because we're just placing them on top of stuff. But now onto our lightning rods. Now there's going to be 2 right here, again with the bulbs facing up. 1 down here. 1 just right on there. Pretty easy. 1 on top of this one as well. And I think that's, yeah, all 5 of them. Now we're going to do our chains. These, of course, are a little bit trickier because we have to place down the wool, but I mean, it's nothing crazy. And here. And is that right? Yes, that's right. Perfect. And 2 more over here. And that is layer 4 complete. Now moving on to layer 5. This is our most complicated layer, I'd say. Definitely has the most types of materials in it, and there's only 9 layers in this tree. It's really not that big of a tree, not including layer 0, of course. Then it's 10 layers, but it's really not that big of a tree. I mean, especially after building these Christmas trees, which were like, I want to say, what, 13 layers tall, or like even our cypress trees way over there. This is a little baby tree. Anyway, starting in the middle, mud brick wall with our jungle fence gates right around it. And then our multiple, that's so not correct, our multiple jungle fences. And we're extending these branches just all the way out. Now, I love putting branches in my trees. That's the thing I build first, actually, usually, is my branches, because it helps me really get a feel for how the tree has grown and how the leaves are going to fall and kind of drape over them. And I just find, like, especially with my first tree, which was this birch tree here, this, like, having the branches laid out like this really helped me create that space and air inside the tree. As we can see with this medium one, I think exemplifies it the most. You can really see how the wind would pass through, and you can even see the branches through the leaves. So anyway, all this to say, the branches are really important when you're building trees in Minecraft, and I think regular Minecraft trees really, really, really lack that. This is what you get when you have a Minecraft YouTuber with ADHD. You get someone who just rambles for half of their tutorial. Anyway, back to our actual building, and I think we should do our mossy cobblestone walls next. Again, it just makes sense to my brain. Whoops. Dude. Okay, another ramble, because you signed up for this video. Anyway, I hate chains in Minecraft, not because they're not pretty. I love chains. I love what they can do for a build, but I hate building with them. It's chains, lightning rods, and glass panes that I hate building with because they are so dang tiny that it's hard to place anything on them because they're so small that the hitbox is tiny, and my hands are not that coordinated. They're not that coordinated. I can't perfectly hit the little tiny 1/8 of a block box anyway. Back to building calmly. So calmly. Okay. Do you see? Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Anyway, mossy cobblestone wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 5 right here. We'll find out later if that's wrong. Quick note. I usually try to have my branches connect out perfectly and like realistically, but this looked more aesthetically pleasing in the grand scheme of things. You'll see at the end of the tree, having this right here made more sense than trying to like have that or something. Okie dokie, now on to the lightning rods. We're gonna do this one first. Yep, that was right. And then that and that and that and that and 1, 2, 3, that. Okay, I think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, okay. And then our 4 chains. Did you ever notice how the word chain sounds like the placing sound of the chain? Listen, listen, listen. Chain. Chain. Weird. Okay, first chain there. Second chain here. Third, I almost said fourth. If I ever stream, I will get streamer brain so bad. I just know it. I almost said fourth right there instead of third. I'm counting to 4. And I almost messed it up. Anyway, third chain should go right here, I think. And then fourth chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, great. All right, now onto the leaves, placing the leaves always feels like a little reward after building the branches. I don't know about you guys, but that's one of my favorite parts. I'm going to do the 4 flowering leaves first because there's less of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, okay, good. And then the 9 azalea leaves regular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Okay, that is layer 5 complete. Again, the most complex layer, and it didn't help that I yapped for like half of that chunk of the video. Anyway, layer 6 is actually our last mud brick wall that we'll place. We have our jungle fence gate for another itty bitty branch up here. We have jungle fences here. Oh yeah, add fences to that list of things that are frustrating to work with. Anyway. And then of course I like to build trees, so it involves all of these. All of the things I don't like. I will one day, I think, another ramble, here we go. I think one day I'll add glass panes. Like if any of you watch B-Dubs, B000100, he plays on Hermitcraft. He builds beautiful trees, like gorgeous forests. If you like trees in Minecraft, you have to go check out his stuff. It's fantastic. But he includes glass panes in his trees to help with like color gradients. I'm not brave enough to do that yet, but one day I will get there. But today is not that day, especially because I hate working with glass panes. Where was I? Ah, yes. Yes, the pit of despair. Okay. And we have is this our last wax weathered lightning rod? It is. It's our last wax weathered lightning rod. Right there. Perfect. And then we have mossy cobblestone walls here, here, and there. Okay. Perfect. Now we can move on to our leaves. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect. Those are our flowering leaves. And now for the real treat, all of our regular leaves. It's like a reward. I think if I ever became a streamer, I would be risking copyright strikes because I'd be singing the entire time. Although I guess I'm not not that good of a they're not that strict about copyright strikes, but you know, I would be singing all the time. I think I'd probably annoy you guys to death, but you know, I feel like there's a niche for that, I guess. Anyway, layer 7 happening 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Those are our jungle fences. We should have, I think, one more on the next layer, and then we're done with them. So we'll place our 2 mossy cobblestone walls, 1 and 2. Now these are not to create branches. These are just kind of for texture, as we'll see at the end of the build. Again, I'll kind of yippity yap about the builds when I'm done, as per usual. And then we actually have our first moss carpets here. 1 and 2. Okay, and then we get to do our leaves. Flowering first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 6. I think that's right. Yep. And as you can also tell on this layer, the tree is kind of shrinking back into itself, so it's not super wide on top. Like this tree, what does this do? Why is there even just adding like that helps the tree? But anyway, that's besides the point. Now onto the regular azalea leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. Although I did misplace a flowering azalea leaf over here. There we go. All right, now that is layer 7 done. Just 2 more layers and they're pretty dang easy. Layer 8, last jungle fence. Our last little cobblestone walls here, again for more texture on the tree itself. And then we'll do, I'm actually going to do our carpets last and do our leaves first so that I have a nice frame of reference for those carpets. And then our regular leaves. Here, oh! Here, here. Here. Okay, I think that's all of our leaves, and now onto the carpets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? Yep. Okay, that's layer 8. And then layer 9. 1, 2, 3, 4 regular leaves. 2 flowering leaves, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 as our final pieces of this tree. Now comes my favorite part, the yippity yappidin. Okay, is that right? Hold on. This mossy cobblestone wall looks funny. Yeah, no, it's right. Okay, anyway. So I designed this tree to look good from all angles, all of them, flying in, walking, whatever, and especially from like right here. Isn't that beautiful? I wanted this tree to feel kind of like a willow tree where you can walk in and it's just pretty hollow underneath, and I feel like I accomplished that right here. Oh, that's so pretty. I definitely like this front view the best, but again, all angles look good because I purposely made it look good from all angles, including the top. See, these mossy cobblestone walls just create that nice little bit of texture, and although it is almost impossible to see it from, like, if you're not thinking about it, these carpets also really help with the texture, especially with the like see-throughness, like the transparency of the block, of the leaf block. Because look, if we take that away, you can see through that block right there to the next one. But if we put it back, it suddenly becomes a lot more solid, which adds more mass to the tree and more weight to like these drooping branches, which I really liked. And I think the dead fire coral around here really creates some good whimsy and mystical magicalness. Yeah, I'm really proud of this tree. So, if you liked the tree, or the video, or my yapping, or all of the above, which would be great, if you could hit that like button so that It helps the algorithm boost this out. And maybe even leave a comment. That would be super cool. And if you are interested in building more of these trees back here, I've got a weird variety of trees. I've got a Christmas tree. I've got a tiny little orange tree. I've got a swamp tree. I've got a cypress tree. These are just my last 4 trees that I've made. I have like a weird variety of trees on here. If you're interested in any of them, go check them out on my channel and consider hitting that subscribe button. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and you know what? Be nice to each other. Have a good one. Bye!